just make me laugh.
Well, Joan, we know, of course, we know you from your music, and now we're having a chance to get to know you as Joan Jett, the actress, because here you are starring with Michael J. Fox in Light of Day. And I suppose that a lot of people who know you through your music but don't really know what you're like will go to the movie and they'll see in the film that you're playing a rebellious young woman. And they'll probably sit there and think, hey, I wonder if that's really the way she is. So my question is, how close is Joan Jett to Patty, the woman she plays in the movie?
I'm glad you asked that question, because I really want to establish that Patty Raznick and Joan Jett are two completely different people. There are the obvious similarities that Patty loves music, and you know, she is rebellious, but I think that's really where the similarity ends. I'd like to think I'm a nicer person than she seems to be. For example, the differences in music. Patty goes from being in the Bar Busters, which is rock and roll music, to the Huns, which is heavy metal. Now, I would never do that. You know, it's like I play rock and roll or I don't play anything. You know, so I wouldn't change my style of music in order to stay on stage, whereas Patty does. Her rebellion, I think, is centered, or it's towards her family life, and she rebels, you know, I think partly by having an illegitimate son, and I'm not rebelling against my family, and that I never had in my life. My rebellions basically stemmed from people saying girls can't play music, you know, and it was sort of, that's where my rebellion stemmed from, you know, was saying, hey man, what do you mean girls can't play guitar? Girls have been playing cellos and violins and symphony orchestras for hundreds of years. You're telling me a girl can't play guitar? You know, so that's where my rebellion stemmed from, and the anger.
You started when you were 15, weren't you?
Yes, professionally, yes.
Professionally. And that involved then going on the road.
Yes.
Now, did any of your family go with you, or how? You know, I'm trying to think of would you let your 15-year-old daughter go on the road?
Well, I don't have a 15-year-old.
No, but if you had one.
I don't, well, you know, I think I was very lucky because my parents trusted me, and they still do. I think I gave them reason to. I was always a good student in school. I was on the honor roll a lot, just because, you know, I thought that education was important. And I think just by my parents seeing those qualities in me, they trusted me enough to let me go do this. And they brought me up with the ethics of, you know, men and women are equal. You can be whatever you want to be. This is America. So, you know, I had all sorts of fantasies, from being an astronaut to the first female Major League Baseball player, and then all of a sudden it was rock and roll, and I don't know if they thought it was just a phase, but once I said I want to join a band, they knew I was serious, and they knew I would do it if they said, even if they said no, so I'm grateful that I had their blessing. And we had a little deal, just as long as I would call them, you know, periodically, a couple times a week, and let them know where I was, and that I was safe and I was okay and what was going on. It was fine, and I'm sure it was very hard for them, and they were definitely nervous about it, but I guess they were confident enough to let me go, and they're very proud. They were proud then, and they're proud now.
Joan, I've interviewed many rock stars, as well as actors and actresses, and particularly with the music people. You know, what they all dream about is, you know, being in rock and roll and getting that hit record and the fame and the money and everything that comes with it. Now, Patty has this long thing about it's the beat that's the thing, you know, and that she's in it for the beat and out there, and that 1 hour makes the other 23 bearable. You know, I'm having a trouble making those two things wash, you know, of what I know and what the movie shows.
That I must say, is another similarity in Patty's personality and mine, because you don't get into music for money. I'm sorry. You get into music because you love to do it and you love to perform. I never thought about money or limousines or any of that thing. That's not what inspired me to play music. What inspired me was going to concerts and having lousy seats sitting in the back of the Coliseum and seeing this band on stage, whichever band it was, and in the lights, and making 18,000 people react like that. And I thought, boy, that's what I want to do, because I love music, and what better way to do something that you love and you can make other people happy too. So the money and things like that, it is really not important to me at all. You know, it's something I don't think about. I'm not really even aware of that thing. It's all I really am conscious of is doing our show and making people happy and talking to the people that I should talk to. The other things don't enter into it so much.
Okay. Well, Joan, I've enjoyed talking with you very, very much. And I hope the movie does well for you, and I hope we have a chance to see you do some more movies.
Thank you.
So good luck to you.
Thanks a lot.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
I loved your bringing out that part about